Is AI destroying photography? Yes, no. And do we photographers see AI as a threat to its art form or a technology that we should embrace? So let me tell you about a recent photo shoot I had where a client who wanted some photographs of his new Porsche to hang on the wall. And we had about 90 minutes in his busy work schedule to achieve this, not very long at all. We spent 30 of those minutes driving around trying to find a suitable location, which was quiet, no other cars, people or distractions. Somewhere we could position the car in a favorable way, which wouldn't need to be moved on every 2 minutes from other traffic, and with the wow factor of a nice backdrop. And do you think we could find one with all of those variables? Not on your Nelly. The only place we did find was a quiet dead-end road leading up to the back entrance of a train station. I positioned the car with some great camera angles. I used circular polarizers to get the best reflections and shot the car in much the same way as my other automotive images. But the location simply wasn't good enough. It was underwhelming, uninteresting, and it lacked that certain wow factor. Not the kind of photograph I would want to present to the client to hang on their office wall. My only option was to enhance the image with the help of AI. Now, of course, the most important elements of this image, like the foreground road leading up to the car itself, those were real, taken in camera by yours truly. The background, however, was generated using AI. Now, that's not to say that I clicked one button and this image popped out. The whole process took another 2 hours to finesse this image, using the pen tool to create a perfect selection of the car, AI generative fill, which gave me a number of choices, the clone stamp tool, and a bunch of other dodge and burn techniques to get the image looking like this. Now, we photographers would all love to take a 2-day trip up to Scotland or over to Germany and hire the Nürburgring for an hour, at great cost by the way, and take some epic portfolio shots like this. But guess what? We live in the real world with time constraints, traffic and street lamps, and we have to work with what we're given on the day. And it's usually not that pretty. I presented these images to the client, who was over the moon and blown away. Did I feel like a fake and a fraud? To a certain extent, yes. But he hired me to do a job and I did the best I could with the conditions on the day. Could I have produced a similar image without the help of AI? Absolutely yes. I would have had to travel to and find another location after the shoot, take a background image with the same f-stop, same camera angle, hope the weather was the same as the actual shoot, and then use a bunch of layer masks in Photoshop to composite the two images together with no guarantee that the image would work. And this would add probably 4 or 5 hours, maybe even a day, onto the workload. So I guess my point with using AI is that it can be a huge advantage when you have a paying client who demands the very best on an average day in an average location. Having said that, I did agonize for a while about whether to include this image on my website portfolio and my social media feeds because it wasn't 100% real and because of the backlash it would cause from those purist photographers out there. Now, I'm not going to delve into the world of Skynet or the Matrix, nothing as catastrophic as end of the world stuff. But there will be a lot of those purist photographers out there who claim that there is no place for AI in the world of photography. Those people might be hobbyists who have a lot of time on their hands, nature photographers or landscape hunters who relish the struggle to capture that elusive photograph. And I completely agree with them. A perfect landscape is like hitting a perfect golf shot. Using sky replacements and AI to enhance a landscape is kind of cheating. And cheating sparks a lot of anger in some photographers. And the reason is because it takes a lot of hard work, time, and patience to capture a truly great landscape photograph, sometimes multiple trips over many months. But then some kid comes along, clicks a few buttons from the comfort of their armchair, and bam, has conjured up an image out of thin air in less than 20 minutes. The cheek of it. However, take a breath. There is an argument for AI in photography within the editing process, which I'll show you another example shortly, but also within the firmware of your camera. The newest cameras that are coming out on the market right now are loaded with new AI technology, which benefits things like subject recognition autofocusing. For instance, the A7C-R can analyze a scene and detect humans, cats, dogs, trains, insects, cars, and birds. Show me a wildlife photographer who wouldn't want that kind of AI technology at their disposal. Or a portrait photographer who doesn't use eye or face detect autofocus. I'm willing to bet most of you would welcome better autofocus systems when you buy a brand new camera. Well, get on board, people. They're all using AI. Then we arrive at the dystopian world of AI photo editing, the enemy, the threat to the existence of the keen photographer. Now, if you're vehemently against AI photo editing, I would say that you're probably looking through the lens of your own world of photography. Whether that's street photography or landscapes, macro photography, or maybe you're a wedding photographer, whatever line of work you're in, or perhaps you're an enthusiast who likes taking pictures of your pets, there is a whole other world of photography careers out there that can benefit from AI. For instance, portrait, automotive, astrophotography, journalism, product photography, events, sports photography, paparazzi, advertising, interior photography, movie poster creators, nature photography, and the list goes on. So here's another example of how AI has completely changed the way I edit and retouch portraits. You may have seen a video recently about a photo that uses AI to analyze a portrait and perform skin retouching in a matter of seconds. Now, this, in my opinion, has completely revolutionized the portrait industry with a reduction in editing time of probably 60 to 70%. And the results are staggeringly good. This is not a sponsored video for a photo. I genuinely believe this. Even to the trained professional retoucher, you wouldn't know the difference between a manual edit and one performed by AI. Events or wedding photographers would find this kind of AI technology a massive advantage when you have hundreds of images with multiple people in those shots. A photo could retouch blotchy red skin, eliminate spots, brighten eyes, fix flyaway hairs, reduce eye bags, and more in a matter of seconds and minutes. Now, show me a wedding photographer who wouldn't find that technology useful and a huge time saver. On a more philosophical note, over the last 100 years or so, the human race has rebelled against technological advancements over and over again for the simple fact that we don't like change, and we see it as a threat to our existence, fearing that it will somehow take away our ability to earn money. When digital cameras first hit the market back in the 1990s, most photographers rebelled against them, saying that they would never take off or surpass the quality of the analog film cameras. Now every person in the developed world has one in their back pocket. Photography in its truest form is the capturing of light. Using flash photography is the manipulation of light. So is that cheating? Using Lightroom to enhance a photo's shadows, highlights, and details is using technology to improve the limitations of the camera sensor. So far, in my little corner of the world, AI has only increased my potential to earn money and do my job more effectively for the simple fact that I have more time on my hands. The subtitles that appear when you click on that CC button on the timeline below, guess what? I use AI technology to listen to my voice and create a transcript in a matter of seconds, saving me about 30 minutes typing this stuff out. The naysayers of the world who are passionately against using AI are probably already using it. They just don't know it yet. So do we need to be wary of artificial intelligence within photography? Absolutely we do, because it's becoming increasingly difficult to recognize what is real from what is fake, especially on platforms like Instagram. It's our duty to protect our art form and disclose when it's being used. I know that Instagram and YouTube are now integrating this into their platforms, but to completely cast aside AI as the Terminator, it's like humankind ignoring every other technological advancement in history. Anyway, that's above my pay grade, but thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I've got lots more juicy content coming out shortly, and I'll see you on the flip side.